Welcome to the video tutorial on how to manually add players and picks in Turbo Tourney 2004. If you have yet to go through the basic configuration options tutorial, you might want to go back and start with that one first. This tutorial will have an assumption that you've already gone through and set up your options and loaded the tournament pairings. And so the first thing we're going to do in this tutorial is show you how to add a new player to the pool manually. And you can do that two different ways. You can select the players menu and then new player from the menu, or you can select the new player icon from the toolbar. And the program is now just warning me that I might want to go ahead and turn on the autosave feature, and we'll cover that when we're done with the players. So now I have my new player screen where I can type in information for the new person in the pool. And the information that I'm keying in now is based on what I set up in my options. And if you don't like what you have set up here, you can just select the options tab, and that will take you right to the same options configuration that we covered before, and we can change any of our setting information here. So we'll go ahead and fill out the information for this person, and we'll just say this person is player at sideline.com. And their phone number is 555-222-1234. So basically you just fill in their information. And we'll say that they've paid us, and the standard point adjustments at this point we're not going to cover. We'll get into that into a more advanced tutorial. This is the basic information you need to just to add the player. So now the person is now showing up here on the tree menu under players, and it's automatically highlighted for me once I've added them. And now to make their pick selections, it's very simple. I just need to come through the grid and click on the teams that they picked to win. So at this point I'm just looking at their bracket sheet and filling out the people or the teams that they have picked to win. Quite straightforward. If I make a mistake and they really picked Western Kentucky here, it's no big deal. I just select that option and it fills it back for me. If I want to remove the pick entirely, I just select Western Kentucky again, and it erases it from that field. So you can really just go through and select any team that you want. This tutorial, so far we've been looking at the point and click method. There's also a way you can set up to do drag and drop. If you select the from the view menu, there's a preferences option, and the pick style right now is point and click, but I can change that to be drag and drop. And now I can also come out here and I can select the team and I can drop it. So there's two different ways that we can go ahead and make the picks. The nice thing about the drag and drop is that if they have Florida all the way out to the finals, I can go ahead and drag it all the way out, and it pre-fills the whole bracket all the way out to that point. So you have a couple of different ways you can enter the picks with this player. So that's how you add a player and add their picks. And then once you have the bracket filled in, you can also, if you're using the total points in the final game option, you can go ahead and fill in the number of points they have selected for the final game for their tiebreaker. Now another nice feature is the default picks. So this is where if you have the same, if people are picking the same teams pretty much over and over, you can go ahead and pre-fill a bracket. So I'm going to go ahead and just default the picks to be number 1 seed, number 2 seed in each region. And that way then when I add another new player, when that player is added, it automatically will go ahead and assume the default picks. And so then from here I don't have to worry about keying those in again. I can just go ahead and start with the ones that were not defaulted. And if by chance somebody did not pick one of those teams, it's not a big deal. I can just go ahead and override it. So the default picks is a good way to establish a baseline of what's the most commonly selected teams. To save you some time entering the picks, you can just set them up as defaults, and that's what every player will get as you add them going forward. Now if you need to update player information, it's very easy. Just select the player that you want to update, and you can do it a couple different ways. You can use the update player from the toolbar, you can select the player's update from the menu, or you can right click on the player and select update on the menu, and you can change or add information about that player. So if you need to change someone's email address and their phone number, that's the way you would do it. Another nice feature is the copy and paste. So if I have a player, and we'll just add player called test2, and what I can do is I can go ahead and I can take all the pics from this player and I can copy them and highlight another player and I can paste. And this player now has the exact same pics as this player. So you can copy and paste player information, player pics, and from player to player. That also makes it a nice, easy option if you want to erase all the pics from a person. You can just say cut or /clear, and that will remove all the pics from that person. And the same options hold true for the default pics as well. Another way to maintain player information, if you don't like to go into each player individually, is the mass maintenance screen. So if you select the players menu and then maintenance, it gives you a nice grid format to be able to modify all the players' information in one place. So this is really useful for selecting some of these options. If instead of going in each person one by one and marking these, you can come to the player maintenance and you can say yes, both these two are good, and update all of them at one time. So the player maintenance is a nice way to maintain player data without going into each player one by one. Now if you need to delete a player, again, that can be done in a number of different ways. Just highlight the player that you want to delete, and you can select the delete player from the toolbar. You can select players delete from the menu, or you can right click on the player and select delete. There's also a couple of hotkeys on the delete and add player. If you select the minus sign, it will automatically delete a player. And if you select the plus sign, you'll get a new player. So it's kind of a quick key to be able to add and delete players from the pool. So let's go ahead and we'll say like test2, we're going to go ahead and delete test2. And it's asking me if I'm sure, and I'll say yes. If you want to be able to turn on and off that confirmation message, just go back into the preferences, select the confirmation tab, and right now I've got it set up to make me confirm whenever I delete a player to make sure I don't accidentally delete somebody. But I can also turn that off if I don't want that confirmation to come up all the time. So that's just a quick tutorial on how to add players, delete players, and make their pics with Tourney 2004.